You've been feeling it, haven't you? A weight in the air that no one else seems to notice. An ache in the center of your chest that beats not with pain, but with a question. The kind that wakes you in the middle of the night. The kind the mind can't answer, but the soul already knows. The angels say, you didn't meet by accident. Long before your eyes met, long before your voice ever stirred his memory, your soul had whispered a yes. And so had his. It wasn't love at first sight, it was recognition. A remembering. This person, he wasn't ready for you. He wasn't prepared for someone who would see through him so easily. You didn't need proof to believe in his goodness. You felt it, even when he tried to hide it behind silence and hesitation. The truth is, your presence triggered something sacred in him. A pull he couldn't resist. A longing he didn't understand. You were sent into his path not to fix him. Not to chase or plead. But simply to be. To carry the frequency of truth and love. And just by doing that, you became the turning point in his life. Even now, as he battles the parts of him that resist surrender, his soul remembers the assignment. And yours? Yours has always known. You carry the light that reminds others of who they are. The angels say, this was written. Not in ink or fate, but in fire. Holy fire. The kind that refines and reveals. He may not say it. He may not even fully know it. But you were the beginning of his return to himself. And for that, he will never forget you. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, that we should walk in them. Ephesians 2 verse 10. He wanted to love you in a way he didn't know how. That's the truth. And the angels urge you to stop blaming yourself for the pauses, the silences, the way he pulls back just when things start to feel safe. Because what he's running from isn't you, it's everything he buried long before you came into the picture. You lit a match in a room he's tried to keep dark his entire life. What you don't see are the ghosts he confronts when he thinks about choosing you. The boy inside him who was never picked. The man who learned to expect disappointment before he could hope. The heart that was taught to retreat when it wanted to open up. His fears didn't begin with you. But with you, they came to the surface. And that's both the gift and the pain of being a mirror to someone's soul. You reflect the parts they've kept hidden. The angels say, she brings light, and that light can feel uncomfortable before it brings healing. He may convince himself that pushing you away is a form of protection, for him or maybe for you. But beneath that narrative is a truth he's not ready to admit yet. You move him. You reach him. You matter more than he knows how to handle. Sometimes, when someone doesn't believe they deserve love, they turn it into something dangerous. But don't take that personally, dear. Your worth is not determined by his ability to welcome you. His walls don't signify that you failed. They show that he's scared. Scared that your presence will change everything. And it will. The angels whisper, his soul called for a stormbreaker, and heaven sent you. You didn't create his wounds, but you were chosen to awaken them. He is not your project. He is not your proof. He is not your redemption. You were never meant to lose yourself just to be close to someone still learning how to hold their own heart. The angels lean in closer now and say, she forgot she was the flame, not the fuel. You have poured out love and waited in silence. And yes, your compassion is sacred. But your exhaustion is not. You deserve to rest. You deserve to remember that your worth isn't measured by how much you endure for someone else's growth. His healing is not your responsibility. Your light is not a bandage. And love, real love, should never feel like a slow erosion. Take your energy back from where it's been leaking. Not out of anger. Not out of pride. But out of sacred remembrance. You are not here to dim your light so that someone else can find their way. You are here to shine, and by shining you guide. But you must never go dark in the process. The angels say, even healers need healing. Even the sun must rest behind the clouds. So breathe. Let yourself matter again, not just to him, not just to the story, but to your own spirit. You have a body that longs to be honored, a soul that needs your gentleness, a heart that beats not just for another, but for the life you've yet to live fully. And he must find his way to you by choice, not by rescue. You were never meant to carry him. You were meant to carry your light. And that is more than enough. There's a reason he can't look you in the eyes for too long. The truth is, your gaze sees more than his reflection, it sees his shadows. And when someone has spent a lifetime pretending their wounds are gone, meeting someone like you feels threatening. The angels say, she saw him whole before he could even admit he was broken. You weren't trying to expose him, but your presence did. Without trying, without needing, you became the mirror he avoided. In you, he sees the man he could become, and the man he's still afraid to be. That kind of reflection is not easy to receive. And so he flinches. Not because of you, but because you show him everything he's hidden. You hold up the truth with kindness, and it burns even more because it comes wrapped in love. It's not just your words that echo inside him. It's your being. It's the way your silence speaks. Your existence undoes the lies he told himself. That love has to hurt. That closeness means control. That no one would stick around after seeing all of him. And here you are, unmoved, unshaken, still shining. Still offering grace where he expected rejection. The angels whisper, his soul wants to step into the man you already see. But his fear still guards the door. You didn't come to save him. But by simply being who you are, you've given him a glimpse of the version of himself he thought was lost. And once someone sees their own potential through your eyes, they can never fully return to the dark. Even if they try. Something has begun shifting within him, and you feel it. It's in the pauses that linger a little longer. In the words he almost speaks. In the sudden softness that flashes across his face before he pulls it back. The angels say, she stirred the sleeping parts of him, and now they are waking. This is the moment before the bloom. That quiet ache in the chest. That whisper that nothing will ever be the same. He doesn't fully understand it. But he's starting to feel it. The world isn't enough anymore, not the way it used to be. The distractions don't distract like they once did. The roles he played no longer fit. And you are everywhere. Not in a possessive way, not in obsession, but in resonance. The memory of your voice lives in the background of his choices. Your presence wraps around his most private thoughts. He carries you without meaning to. He attempts to go about his life, but he keeps seeing you in everything that moves him. Because something has awakened. And he knows it started with you. The angels reveal, she didn't demand change. She became it. And he couldn't unfeel it. This shift is subtle, but profound. A realization taking root beneath the noise. He's beginning to question everything. And one day soon, when the noise gets quiet enough, your name will rise, not just in thought, but in decision. The seed you planted has cracked the surface. And what comes next is growth. You've felt it, haven't you? The rhythm of coming close, then pulling away. The warmth, the silence, the return. Again and again. It's not because he doesn't feel. It's because he feels too much. The angels say, he's not running from you. He's running from what you awaken. There's a storm inside him, and you are the eye of it. A place of truth. A place of peace. But also, a place that requires surrender. And he's not used to that. He's used to keeping control. Of masking. Of loving from a distance where it's safer, where nothing real can reach him. But you reach him. You don't even try. And that terrifies him. So he disappears, not to forget you, but to forget how deeply he's been moved. He returns, not because he needs attention, but because something in him knows, you're home. It's a dance of fear and pull, resistance and recognition. And while it may feel personal, the angels want you to know, it's sacred. This cycle is not punishment. It's purification. Each time he leaves and comes back, more of his walls weaken. More of the illusions fall. You are not meant to chase. You are meant to hold your light steady. And he will return each time, more bare, more real, more willing. Until one day, he doesn't leave at all. The angels whisper, he is learning the rhythm of love through your patience, through your unwavering presence. And you? You are learning that sacred love cannot be rushed. It must rise in its own time. And it will. He won't say it. Not yet. But your love is healing him. The way you listen without judgment. The way your eyes soften when he hides behind silence. The way you stay present, not pushing. The angels say, she didn't try to fix him. She saw him whole. And that made him begin to believe he could be. There are wounds in him that no one has dared to approach. Memories etched deep into the nervous system. Hurts that made him hard. But your presence is balm. Even when he pushes back, even when he keeps you at a distance, he senses the change. There's a calmness in his breath when you're around. More clarity amidst the chaos. He may lack the words, but his spirit recognizes the healing. You remind him of what safety feels like. Not safety in perfection, but safety in honesty. Safety in being seen and still being chosen. And for someone who learned about love through pain, this is groundbreaking. The angels whisper, her love entered like light through cracks, and began to mend what was broken with something eternal. You are not just a chapter in his story. You are the part where the healing starts. And although he might not yet say the word love out loud, he carries it like a prayer. Like something too sacred to name. What you've offered is significant. It's the kind of love that rewrites memories, rewires beliefs, and resurrects hope. You think he's distant. But in reality, he's rebuilding. Because of you. Because of love. There are no coincidences, only calls answered in silence. You may wonder if it's all in your imagination, the connection, the signs, the dreams that felt too vivid to ignore. But the angels say, it was never your imagination. It was divine orchestration. This love, this bond, it has roots that stretch beyond this life. It carries the echo of promises made in realms where souls prepare before they ever touch the earth. He doesn't know how to explain why he feels drawn to you time and time again. Why the sound of your name softens his defenses. But you do. Because your heart has always known. This is not a matter of chance. It is the movement of heaven. There are moments, small, quiet, fleeting, when he feels it too. When everything around him falls silent, and you enter his thoughts not as a memory, but as a presence. The angels say, we placed her in his path not to fulfill desire but to awaken destiny. He may hesitate. He may question. But the road is set. And the guidance is unwavering. You are not lost in this. You are being led. And even when the path feels long, uncertain, and invisible, the map is within your spirit. You followed its pull before logic could catch up. Now is the time to trust again. Let go of the need to know when, how, or if. Because when it's divine, it doesn't require proof. Just faith. The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. Proverbs 16 verse 9, there's a door he's been guarding his whole life. And now, it's starting to crack. You may have noticed the hesitation in his voice, the tremor just beneath his confidence. The way he opens, then closes, then opens again. That's not confusion. That's vulnerability. The angels say, he has loved in silence and feared in echoes. But her presence makes the silence sacred, not scary. What he feels for you is not soft. It's seismic. And the closer you get to his truth, the more frightened he becomes. Because to let you in completely, he must first undress his soul, and that for him has always meant danger. You represent the one thing he never thought he'd deserve, to be loved exactly as he is. Not for performance. Not for potential. But for being raw, imperfect, human. And that terrifies him more than rejection ever could. The angels whisper. She touched the place in him that still believed he had to hide to be loved. And with her touch, that lie began to unravel. So when he pulls away, don't mistake it for a lack of feeling. It's the overwhelm of being seen, of being safe, of realizing that perhaps this time, the story could end differently. And yet, his heart still wonders, can I trust this? Can I survive this? He's not resisting you. He's resisting the death of who he thought he had to be. Let him break slowly. Let him become new. Love, in its truest form, does not rush the sacred undoing. There comes a moment when striving ceases, when the need to convince, to prove, to grasp, falls quiet. And in that silence, what remains is truth. The angels say, what is meant for her will not require force, only faith. You've done enough. You've loved without asking for guarantees. You've stood in uncertainty with open arms. You've believed when logic begged you to let go. And now comes the surrender. Not surrender as defeat, but as reverence. This connection was never yours to control. It was yours to witness, to nurture, to grow from within, not to force from the outside. Let him come when his soul is ready. Let love return when it has learned to stay. Because your worth does not depend on his awakening. It has always remained intact. And the angels want you to hear this, as they surround you with light. You are chosen, not because he finally saw you, but because heaven always did. Your task now is not to wait. It is to live. To let the sacred mystery unfold in its own time. To trust that if the love is true, it will rise again, brighter, deeper, rooted in both of you, not just in you. And if it does not, the miracle was never lost. It was lived. Be still, and know that I am God. Psalm 46 verse 10. So breathe, dear soul. The chapter is not ending. It is transforming.